In a world where loneliness often feels like a heavy burden, Stoic philosophy offers a powerful lens to transform isolation into strength. Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius taught that solitude is not a weakness, it's an opportunity for self-discovery, resilience, and personal growth. This episode explores 10 Stoic lessons that help us understand the deeper meaning behind having few friends, and how it can reflect independence, wisdom, and emotional clarity. These teachings guide us to build meaningful relationships, nurture inner peace, and embrace change with courage. If you're ready to turn solitude into strength, this journey is for you. Let's begin. 1. Lack of social opportunities. Feeling isolated doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're being invited to grow. Stoicism teaches that every challenge, including loneliness, holds the seed of transformation. When social opportunities are scarce, it's easy to feel disconnected. But Epictetus reminds us, peace begins within. Instead of waiting for connection, create it. Join online communities, attend small gatherings, or simply greet your neighbor. These small steps build bridges. Seneca said, "If you wish to be loved, love." That's the Stoic path. Lead with openness, not fear. Use solitude to develop your character, sharpen your skills, and reflect on what kind of relationships you truly seek. Loneliness isn't a flaw. It's a mirror. It shows you where you're ready to grow. When you stop resisting isolation and start embracing it, you become stronger, more self-aware, and more capable of forming meaningful bonds. The lack of social opportunities isn't the end. It's the beginning of deeper connection. So ask yourself, what can I offer the world today? That's how you turn solitude into strength. 2. Changing circumstances. Change is constant, and Stoicism teaches us to welcome it, not fear it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept everything that happens, even if it is disagreeable." When life shifts, new city, new job, lost friendships, it's easy to feel adrift. But these moments are invitations to grow. Moving somewhere unfamiliar may feel lonely, but it's also a chance to meet new people, explore new interests, and rediscover yourself. Every change is a mirror, reflecting your resilience. Instead of mourning what's gone, ask, what can I learn here? What new relationships can I build? Stoicism encourages us to adapt with grace, not resistance. When friendships fade, it doesn't mean failure. It means evolution. You're becoming someone new, and your circle will shift accordingly. Embrace that. Use solitude to reflect, recalibrate, and reconnect with your values. Change isn't a threat. It's a teacher. It shows you what matters, what's worth keeping, and what's ready to be released. So when circumstances shift, don't shrink, expand. That's how you turn uncertainty into opportunity and loneliness into growth. 3. Shyness or introversion. Shyness isn't weakness. It's depth waiting to be shared. Stoicism teaches that our power lies in mastering our mind, not changing our nature. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Introverts often thrive in reflection, creativity, and quiet strength. Instead of forcing extroversion, embrace your natural rhythm. Use solitude to write, read, create, and think deeply. When you share your thoughts through conversation, art, or action, you build meaningful connections rooted in authenticity. Stoicism encourages self-acceptance. The goal isn't to become someone else, it's to become fully yourself. Start by building confidence in small ways. Speak up in a group, share an idea, or reach out to someone you admire. Quality matters more than quantity. One sincere connection is worth more than 10 superficial ones. Shyness is a bridge, not a barrier. It leads to deeper understanding, empathy, and trust. So honor your introversion. Use it to connect with others who value depth over noise. That's how you turn quiet strength into lasting relationships and live with purpose, not pressure. 4. Mental well-being. Mental well-being isn't about avoiding loneliness. It's about mastering your response to it. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Stoicism teaches 3 essential tools for inner peace: self-control, acceptance, and gratitude. Self-control means observing your reactions to isolation without judgment. When you feel lonely, ask, "What is this feeling teaching me?" Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means recognizing your current state as part of your growth. Instead of resisting solitude, use it to reflect, create, and understand yourself more deeply. Gratitude, the 3rd pillar, shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present. Even in isolation, there's always something to appreciate. A quiet morning, a good book, a moment of clarity. These practices don't erase loneliness, but they transform it. You become less dependent on external validation and more rooted in your own strength. Mental well-being is a choice, a practice, and a path. When you nurture your thoughts, you nurture your life. That's how Stoicism turns solitude into serenity and silence into strength. 5. Trust issues. Trust is the foundation of every meaningful relationship, but it begins with self-awareness. Stoicism teaches that we can't control others, only our responses. Seneca wrote, "No one can live happily who has regard for himself alone." Trust requires openness, patience, and the courage to accept others as they are, not as we wish them to be. When we struggle with trust, it's often because we fear vulnerability. But Stoicism reminds us that strength lies in embracing discomfort for the sake of growth. Ask yourself, am I listening to understand or to defend? Am I willing to accept change in others as I do in myself? Trust isn't static. It evolves. It's built through honest communication, empathy, and shared values. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of thought quality. So choose thoughts that build bridges, not walls. Trust doesn't mean blind faith. It means choosing connection over control. When you approach relationships with clarity and compassion, trust becomes a path to peace. That's how Stoicism helps us build stronger bonds, by first strengthening the self. 6. Differences in interests. Differences don't divide us, they enrich us. Stoicism teaches that every perspective is a window into another world. Marcus Aurelius said, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." When friends have different interests, it's not a flaw. It's an opportunity to grow. Instead of resisting, practice curiosity. Ask, what can I learn from this person's view? Active listening and humility are key. Every person carries unique experiences that can expand your understanding. You don't have to agree to connect. You just have to respect. Stoicism encourages us to value diversity without losing our own center. When you approach differences with openness, you build empathy and resilience. You learn to see beyond your own lens. This doesn't mean compromising your values. It means strengthening them through dialogue. True friendship isn't built on sameness. It's built on mutual respect. So next time you encounter a different opinion, pause, listen, reflect. That's how you turn contrast into connection and difference into depth. 7. Lack of social skills. Social skills aren't fixed traits. They're learnable tools for connection. Stoicism teaches that challenges are opportunities for growth, not labels of limitation. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it, that matters." If you struggle with social interaction, don't see it as a flaw, see it as a starting point. Begin with sincerity, empathy, and listening. These are the foundations of meaningful relationships. You don't need to be charismatic, you need to be present. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." So shift your mindset. Instead of fearing rejection, focus on building understanding. Attend events without expecting perfection. Practice small conversations. Reflect on what you can control. Your attitude, your effort, your openness. Social skills grow through practice, not pressure. Each interaction is a chance to learn, connect, and evolve. You're not behind, you're becoming. That's the Stoic way. Steady, intentional, and rooted in self-respect. Build relationships not from performance, but from authenticity. That's how you turn hesitation into harmony and silence into connection. 8. Shifting priorities or growth. As we grow, our relationships shift. And that's not a loss, it's evolution. Stoicism teaches that change is natural, and personal growth often reshapes our social circles. Epictetus said, "Nothing important comes into being overnight. When your dreams change, your connections may too." That's not rejection, it's realignment. Consider someone who moves to a quiet town to pursue art. Old party friends may fade, but new creative allies emerge. This isn't loneliness, it's transformation. Ask yourself, do my current relationships reflect who I'm becoming? If not, it's okay to let go. Growth requires space. Stoicism encourages us to accept this with grace. You're not abandoning people. You're honoring your path. Seek relationships that align with your values, passions, and purpose. Let go of guilt. Embrace change. When you prioritize authenticity over attachment, you build deeper, more meaningful connections. The Stoic doesn't cling, they choose. So as your priorities shift, let your relationships evolve too. That's how you turn transition into truth, and change into clarity. 9. Lifestyle choices. Choosing a simpler lifestyle may reduce your social circle, but it can deepen your sense of peace. Stoicism teaches that happiness doesn't come from quantity, but from quality. Seneca said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." When you step away from constant stimulation, social media, parties, noise, you create space for reflection and authenticity. You may lose superficial connections but gain meaningful ones. Ask yourself, does this lifestyle reflect my values? Does it bring me joy? Choosing simplicity isn't isolation, it's intention. It's deciding what truly matters. Stoicism encourages us to live consciously, not reactively. When you prioritize depth over distraction, you find peace in presence. You connect with people who share your rhythm, not just your location. This path may be quieter, but it's richer. So if your lifestyle leads to fewer friends, don't worry. It may be leading you to better ones. That's how you turn solitude into serenity and simplicity into strength. 10. Self-sufficiency and independence. Self-sufficiency isn't isolation, it's empowerment. Seneca said, "Self-sufficiency is the greatest of all wealth." Stoicism teaches that true strength comes from within, not from constant validation. When you rely on your inner compass, you stop chasing approval and start living with clarity. Independence means choosing relationships based on depth, not quantity. It's not about rejecting others, it's about honoring your values. In solitude, you hear your own thoughts more clearly. You discover creativity, resilience, and peace. Ask yourself, am I living for others' expectations or for my own truth? The Stoic path encourages reflection, discipline, and intentional living. You don't need a crowd to feel complete. You need purpose. Independence allows you to explore life freely, to connect with those who truly align with your soul. It's not loneliness, it's liberation. When you cultivate self-reliance, you become less reactive and more grounded. You stop fearing solitude and start embracing it as a space for growth. That's how Stoicism transforms independence into inner wealth and solitude into strength. Conclusion. Having few friends doesn't mean you're lacking, it may mean you're evolving. Stoicism teaches that solitude is a space for reflection, growth, and clarity. Through these 10 lessons, we've seen how challenges like shyness, change, or independence can become stepping stones to deeper self-awareness and stronger relationships. The Stoic path isn't about avoiding discomfort, it's about transforming it. When you embrace your nature, live by your values, and seek quality over quantity, you build a life of meaning. Let solitude guide you inward. Let wisdom shape your connections. That's how you turn loneliness into strength and live with purpose, peace, and resilience.